Hi, welcome to Sharing with Susan B, telling stories from the heart. We're looking to inspire, telling stories of struggle, vulnerability, and lessons learned. Hi, welcome. I'm Susan Blaine. I'm here with Carley Schelck. I'm really excited to have Carley here because we've known each other for a long time, but I don't know everything about her. So we're going to learn a few new things today. Carley is partner and CEO of Urban Element. Now, Urban Element's a really cool space. It's you have cooking classes there, you have team building events, you rent the space out. Formerly it was a firehouse.
That's right.
On
Yes.
Parkdale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Station number 11.
Theurbanelement.ca is the website. And let's talk a little bit about your backstory. You worked for CP Hotels, and the Royal York in Toronto, because you lived in Toronto, and you also a dish cooking studio in Toronto.
That's right,
you worked
exactly.
at. Then you took your Bachelor of Commerce and specialized in hotel and food, and then you moved to Ottawa.
We did.
And about 15 years ago, and you and your husband Oliver started your own business. Tell us about what you're really passionate about right now.
Is the food literacy program with the kids.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It must be so rewarding. Are they really engaged and at that level? Are they very eager?
They are. They are. And, the first time they get to use a peeler or a little paring knife, they're amazed. They can't believe. The empowerment that comes with that, to be honest. The kids are really proud of themselves. And, the beauty of it is that they make the food, and sometimes these are different tastes that they've never had before. But if they create it, they're more apt to eat it and love it. Mm-hmm. And then it's a positive reinforcement.
Yeah, that's a really good point. For a lot of entrepreneurs that started their business about that time, about 15 years ago, was it the recession in 2008?
2008. So, we launched the business in 2005. And so, we were very blessed. We had a lot of success out of the gate. We were feeling good. We were confident. We were motoring along. And then, boom.
Boom.
Some financial impact.
Yeah.
And I would say, if I was really honest, it's been recovery ever since then, because the types of business we do with the corporations that also felt that impact really changed the way that they did business and how they spent money. And we were their client entertaining source to go to. So we had to get creative, and we needed to diversify, which, a lot of those opportunities of which came this opportunity to run the contract at St. Paul's. Yeah. When we were first offered that contract, I was very close-minded at the time. I said, that's not what we do. That's not what we do here. But, I came around to it and I thought, what? This is what we do. And if we can do it the way that we do things here at Urban Element and apply those same philosophies, I think we got something. So that was 6 years. That's been 6 years.
So it's an interesting point, because often, the tough struggle times of, that really test you, you pivot.
You pivot.
Which you maybe wouldn't have otherwise done.
Right. And we diversified because we needed to.
So maybe some lessons learned from that. Don't get too comfortable.
Don't get too comfortable. It's a big lesson, right? Don't get too secure, because anything can happen,
Yeah.
Yep.
And be prepared to pivot. Be prepared to open.
Be open-minded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big learning lesson for me looking back, is not to be so rigid. And, just because you write that business plan doesn't mean that you need to, stick to it black and white. There's a lot of moving off page with that, and a lot of rewriting of the versions of that business plan too.
That's a really good lesson learned, and a good lesson for life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Most of the time it doesn't go according to plan.
That's
In fact, all the time it doesn't go according to plan. What about one of your biggest personal struggles?
I had a mental health challenge a couple of years ago. The fallout of a concussion that I had.
You slipped work while catering.
Yeah, exactly. And that really set me back. And there was nothing I could prepare for. Unexpected. It was very frightening to be in that position, not just feeling unsure if I was ever going to feel 100% myself again.
Because it lasted almost 2 years,
it did.
The sort of fallout of that concussion.
It did. And I learned a lot about mental health, about how the brain operates, and the biggest learning lesson for me was that I had no control over that healing process, and I had to just find ways to keep myself comfortable and relaxed and not get anxious, which is a little bit of the fallout of that.
For sure.
Those were some dark times, and really stretching to cope with sort of that personal loss of health and recovery.
Now, the other thing too, I find with a lot of entrepreneurs is we like to take control. We like to be in control. We like to control as much. So that must have challenged you.
Really did. I really did. I had to stop working, and that was very hard for me because work was my life. It was intertwined. So
having to say no to some things, right?
Absolutely. That changed. That changed a lot for me.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I never really wanted to be in that position as if I could prevent it. And I knew that having that time off just to think about greater things in life, the meaning of that, to come back and start to really live my life in areas that I was getting genuine fulfillment and satisfaction, and know when to say enough is enough.
Well, sometimes we don't wish for things like that to happen, but life has an interesting way sometimes of throwing those fireballs at us to make us make some changes. Yeah,
listen,
exactly.
The universe, right?
Yeah, they shout at us. Well, what about a piece of advice? There was some great points in just that, but some advice that you might share with your younger self.
Oh boy, wow.
Pick one.
Some advice. You know what? Don't feel like you have to follow the rules that are written for you. I think I convinced myself that, things had to be done a certain way all the time, and sort of working off track, off road. Loosen up a little bit more about those things and not maybe take a lot of the decision making that serious. I stressed a lot about probably some very small things. So when the bigger decisions come along and the bigger dilemmas, you know which ones to stress over and what, not
for sure.
to. So not to lose sleep, I don't really take myself too seriously. I mean, we like to have fun in business, and it's the kind of industry we're in. We have a lot of fun. Yeah. It's a lot of fun to be with my team and events. And, I think 15 years, you pack in a lot of learning lessons. There's more to come.
How about some rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Have some fun,
Okay.
learn some fun facts about Carley Schelck. Okay, who's your favorite superhero?
I'm going to say my mom.
Aw.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
She wears the invisible cape.
Does she?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Favorite food indulgence?
Oh, boy.
As a foodie.
This is funny. Honestly, fresh cut fries with malt vinegar at a chip truck.
Oh, yum.
That, if I'm being real.
Can you give a plug for your favorite one in Ottawa?
Oh, boy. You know what? Listen, I'm a huge road tripper, so I can't. Oh, you know what? There's lots of great casse-croûtes in Quebec. So I love
you're right.
Shacks,
On the way to the cottages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something not too many people know about you. Secret.
I hoard magazines.
Do you?
Yes.
What kind of magazines?
Oh, like cottage living, house magazines, like fashion, travel, food and travel. But actually, food magazines. I'd probably say I've like a huge.
So I know who to come to when I build my next dream board.
Absolutely.
Okay, I know where to come.
I have a stash for sure for you.
Yeah. Good to know. Favorite movie or quote or a book?
Oh, I love Wally Lamb.
Oh,
I know this much is true. That had and I loved reading also The Alchemist, which I've had on my shelf for a long time. Yeah.
What's something that always makes you smile?
My son.
Yeah.
My son's laughter and just his little cute face waking me up every morning. That really gets me going.
He's 8 now.
He is.
Yeah. What's your definition of success, Carley, in one sentence?
Ultimate happiness.
You can learn more about Carley, all about her on LinkedIn. That's where you can find Carley Schelck's story. And on LinkedIn and Instagram, you've got handles for the Urban Element as well. So we can learn about what's going on there, what you have available. They have great cooking classes, team building. That's great stuff. I've participated in some over the years and had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. I know you're going to inspire a lot of people by sharing your story, especially those of struggle and the lessons that you've learned. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You've made this for easy conversation.
Yay, that's the point. Thank you.
Thanks.